Hey everyone, Laura here with Rags to Rugs, and today I'd like to share with you some tips and pointers on how to finish your rag rugs. This is a question that's asked of me all the time, and I thought this was a great opportunity to share with you what I know and what I feel is the best way to finish off not only your rag rugs, but your jute rugs and your twine rugs as well. So these could be crocheted rugs, they could be woven rugs, they could be braided rugs, they could be toothbrush rugs, any type of rugs that you need to finish off that have a tail. We're going to cover that today. I brought with me 3 tools. Don't laugh, but one of them is a jumbo safety pin. I also brought with me a latch hook. Now this happens to be a 6-inch latch hook. And I also brought a crochet hook. And our favorite one size to use to finish off the rugs is an L size. We sell both the latch hook and the crochet hook in our website, so feel free to shop if you'd like and pick these up. Free shipping always on all of our rug making tools. The website's at the bottom of the video here. I also brought with me 3 samples of rugs, and we're going to explore all 3 of these, the best tool to use and the best way to finish off the rugs. I brought a rag rug, I brought a jute rug using a 6-ply jute, and I brought another rug using some homespun fabrics with a twine border. So stay tuned, watch the entire video, because we're going to explore all 3 fibers in this same video and the best tool to use for each. So we've got a trivet with the twine border. We're going to set that aside for the moment. We've got a jute heart rug. This was a recently introduced kit. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. And these are both available on the website as well, the trivets and the heart. We're going to start out with the rag rug. And if I can put a plug in for our wonderful product, this is called Rug on a Roll. And these are available through our website. They are our invention. You're not going to find them anyplace else. But this particular collection is called Oceanside, and it made the rug that we are going to finish today. I finished the display rug for it, and I need to finish it, so this is a great opportunity. These are 6-yard fabric rolls, pre-connected, pre-sewn, pre-staged, pre-everything. All you have to do is sit down and make this beautiful rug. These and many other collections are available. This happens to be, again, the Oceanside. We're going to start out with the rag rug, and I'm going to be using the safety pin. Many of you have this already available in your home, so this is a perfect opportunity to share with you how to use a safety pin to finish off the rug. Okay, so again, this is the back side of our wonderful Oceanside rag rug, and we're going to finish off first the tail that is from where we started. We started crocheting this rug from the center out, and we've got this little tail that needs to be tucked in and hidden. We're going to use that trusty little safety pin. So we're going to go ahead and pin, just insert the safety pin at the very end of your 6-inch tail. 6 inches is about perfect to weave in. And what we're going to do is we're going to go forward 3 stitches, back 3 stitches. And by doing that, it locks in that fabric so that over time it doesn't work out, or with laundering it doesn't work out. It has a tendency to lock that fabric in place. We're going to go forward 3 stitches. And all I'm going to do is use that safety pin as a guide. I'm going to pull it through a stitch, give it a little tug. We're going to find another stitch, insert it, give it a little tug. And if you can see, you can't even see where I'm feeding that in because the stitches are going to cover that up. And one more this direction. And what we're going to do now is come back the other direction. So I'm going to feed one in this way. I'm going to find another stitch, and we're going to feed it in here. Nice tight stitches there. And we're going to feed it in one more stitch. Now if you feel like you'd like to, you can go ahead and do 3 or 4 more stitches. But it's hard to even see where those stitches are. It's even harder to get those out because they truly are locked in. But you can continue on as much as you like. Go ahead and trim that off, and we finished off that original fabric. Now what we want to do is focus on, I'm going to flip this back over. This particular rug has a scalloped border, but whether it has a scalloped border or just a basic border, you're going to do this the same exact way. We're going to demonstrate with a scalloped border first. So I'm going to go ahead and take the fabric off, and I'm going to reinsert it in this tail. The goal in finishing off your rug is always to make that stitch as least noticeable as is possible. We're going to try to make it very inconspicuous. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to insert our hook in the back side of the next stitch, not the front side. The front side would be inserting it like this. And what happens when you do that is it's going to flip that stitch, and it's going to be very, very noticeable what we're doing. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to insert the safety pin, in this case, in the back side of that next stitch. Not the front, but the back side. Okay, I'm going to just insert it, give it a little tug. You can already see how nice and smooth that transition is there. There's no little giddy up from inserting in the front and flipping that and making it very noticeable. I'm going to turn the rug over now, and what we're going to do is the same exact thing we did in the center. We're going to use our safety pin to guide, and we're going to weave it back and forth. 3 stitches forward, 3 stitches back, okay? And we're going to go in the same direction that we were heading out, you know, the same direction that we started with our first stitch. If you go back this way, it's going to pull that scallop back, and it's going to make it very obvious. There's going to be a little giddy up right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed it this way initially. So we're going to go 3 or 4 stitches this direction. Again, just using that safety pin as a guide. You can insert it wherever you want, and it's not going to be hardly noticeable at all. I'm going to do another stitch here. All I'm doing is inserting it in those stitches on the back side of your rug. That was 3 stitches. Hardly noticeable at all. And this is on the back side. You're not going to see it at all on the front anyway. Now I'm going to go back the other direction. So I'm just going to pick and choose here. I'm going to put in this one. I'm going to find another stitch, insert that safety pin. And we'll do a couple more stitches here, and then we'll trim it off. And then I'll flip it over, and you can see how not noticeable that is. You see that? It's absolutely flawless. In fact, you couldn't tell, you wouldn't be able to pick out which scallop it was that we ended this rug. Okay, so that's showing you how to use a safety pin. Now we're going to move on. I'm going to set this one aside. And what I'd like to demonstrate next is jute. Now this particular kit is our brand new Heart Jute kit. This was, again, putting a plug in for this kit, but this is available through our website. Now this is a 6-ply jute. It happens to have a 3-ply twine jute bow on it, but the entire rug was crocheted with a 6-ply jute. Well, if you can imagine, we can't use the safety pin to insert in the jute. It's simply not going to work. So I thought, well, what could I use? Because, you know, we've been making these custom jute rugs for a long time, and again, this is a brand new kit that we sell. But I needed to come up with something, and all of a sudden it occurred to me one day that a latch hook was the perfect tool to use on the jute. But we're going to do the same thing like we talked about earlier. This is a board that does not have a scallop. So what we're going to do is we want to insert this jute in the very next stitch, not in the front, but in the back of that stitch. And you can just do this one with your fingers to start. So I'm going to put that in there. And as you can see already, you can't even hardly tell where that stitch is, because I put it in the back of the stitch, not the front. We don't want that stitch to flip and make it very noticeable where we're finishing it off. Okay, I'm going to use my latch hook now. Again, I'm going to flip that over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this jute 3 stitches forward, 3 stitches back to lock it in place. And we're going to, using the latch hook, you can pick up 3 or 4 stitches easily with just one motion. It's another reason I like this. Now a latch hook has the hook on the end, and it also has a latch. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well on the video, but you need to make sure that you hook the jute in the hook that's on the, let me turn this just a little so you can see it better hopefully. So you can hook it in that, where the hook is on your latch hook, and make sure that this little flap is closed and over it. And what you're going to do then is feed that back through exactly the way you fed it in. Unhook it, draw it all the way through. You can't even see it. I can't even tell where that was. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, going back in the other direction. Again, we're going to feed in the tip of your latch hook through 3 or 4 stitches. This goes really, really fast using a latch hook because you don't have to do individual stitches like we did with the safety pin. We're going to hook that jute under the hook on the latch hook. Just insert it underneath that. Make sure that the little flap is closed and draw it back through very, very, very easily. And we're done. because we've gone one direction, we came back the other direction. All you have to do now is trim that jute at the base, set that aside, and I show you how beautiful that is then. You will not be able to tell this side or wherever it was that we finished off that rug using this method. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and one last sample that I'd like to share with you. This one are some trivets that, again, putting a plug into our company, but these are homespun trivets. And if you know what homespun is, that's woven fabric, and this is glorious fabric, and we sell these trivets on our website. But when I made this particular trivet with the homespun, I decided to give it a little bit of personality by adding a twine, a 3-ply twine jute border. Well, so we've got a twofold situation here. This rug also, this trivet needs to be finished off. So we need to finish off the tail. We also need to finish off the twine on the edge. This time we're going to be using the crochet hook. Now this is a beautiful, beautiful crochet hook. We recently introduced it, and we will have all the different sizes available very soon on our website. These are birch, and they are polished to, oh my goodness, they are so smooth, so easy to work with. And this is our preferred basics birch crochet hook. You're going to love it. It feels so good when you're working it. But we're going to use this time. You could still use the latch hook if you prefer to finish off this rug, both the twine and the fabric. But on the twine particularly, I found that this one works the absolute best. So what we're going to do is I'm going to demonstrate using the crochet hook to finish off the fabric by feeding in that crochet hook. And just like the latch hook, you see it better there? And just like the latch hook, you can go multiple stitches at a time with this beautiful. That's what when a crochet hook has that sheen on it, it just slips through the fabric beautifully, as opposed to a plastic hook that sometimes catches. This just glides right through. We absolutely love this crochet hook, and again, this is available through our company. Then I'm going to hook that fabric under the hook on the crochet hook, and what I'd like to do here is I'd like to twist it just a little bit. Hold on to it and twist it, and then feed it through so it doesn't slip off of your crochet hook. See that? Just with ease, it went through 4 stitches. And again, we want to go back the other direction to lock in that fabric so it doesn't work out over time. So again, I'm going to just pick and choose 3 or 4 stitches going this direction as well. I'm going to hook that fabric under the hook of my crochet hook, just like that. I'm going to twist it just a little bit so it doesn't fall off of my crochet hook, and back through those same stitches. Give it a little tug. You can't see it. You can't see it. It's secure. It's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't matter how many times you wash this or use it. It's not going to. They're not going to fall out. Now the last example I'd like to share with you. This again, we bordered this trivet with some twine. This happens to be a 3-ply jute twine, as opposed to the 6-ply jute on our other rug. What we're going to do now is we're going to feed this in using this same crochet hook, and we're going to go 3 forward, 3 back. And you can just pick and choose. It doesn't really matter what stitches you use, but I try to get real up close and personal to where those twine, where it started, so that when it's feeding in, and this particular time I've got 2 pieces of twine, I'm going to do them both at the same time. Why not, right? I'm going to hook it under the hook, give it a little twist, feed it through those stitches that you picked out, pull it all the way through, adjust it if you pulled like I just did, a little bit too tight. You don't want to pull that too tight or it is going to be obvious. And then we're going to come back the other direction. Again, just insert, pick and choose wherever you want that twine to be fed in. You can just decide whichever stitches you want. There's one more here it looks like I can grab. And I'm going to hook the twine on the tip of that crochet hook, twist it, and feed it through. Oops, looks like I missed one, so I'm going to, that's fine because it gives me an opportunity to do it one more time with that one too. I'm going to pick up that one now, hook it, twist it, and feed it through. There it is. And you cannot see any evidence of that twine on the back side or the front, in this case of your trivet. We're going to trim those off. And we have finished off this rug, and there's no way, you could flip that around and you're not going to find where we started and ended the twine on the back of this trivet. The same with the jute, the same with the fabric. So using the safety pin, using the latch hook, using the crochet hook. Now you don't have to invest in all three. Maybe the safety pin will work for you if you don't use the jute. But of all three of these, probably this is the one that I would use on all three different fibers that we demonstrated. Anyway, so I hope that helps. As always, we're always here for you. Reach out. My cell phone, it's at the bottom of the page, by our website, again at the bottom of the page, and my email address as well. So we're always here for you. We love to hear from you with any questions you have. And in fact, those questions may lead into yet one more video. So in the meantime, make it a great day.